morning, afternoon, good evening, or dead of night. Welcome wherever time it may be. Welcome to the Race Statistics channel. This is Grash with you with coverage for free practice 2 for the Italian GP. We have a question for everyone. If I watch and commentated on F2 quali in chat, does it still count if they have 3 red flags toward my red flag counter? Put that in chat whether it should, yes or no, whether that counts or not. Yeah, was gonna go over decision documents, but no one's a bad boy. There was no decision documents that we have to go over. So ultimately, yeah, there's not much really happened enough. You know, we did get a red flag in free practice 1, but that was just basically because Isaac was the bad boy and kicked gravel over the surface of the track to the point where it was just totally from one side to the other was covered. So they threw a red flag so they could clear the track, which was the right call. I mean, that was stupidly covered with so much gravel. I wouldn't be surprised that the yellow flag that we had a little bit earlier was to clean off the track from F2. Again, there were 3 red flags in F2. Two drivers stopped in the first red flag. Another one stopped in the second, and then one spun. Verschuur's basically spun, lost control of the car, spun, bumped into the wall, crashed his car, and brought the session to a close. There was like a minute left in the session, approximately a minute left in the session when he crashed, and so they just red flagged the session, didn't continue. So there we go. For F1, back to F1, we are using the C3, C4, C5 compounds. These are the normal compounds that we're used to. There is one more compound, a C6, and that has not performed. It's really designed for Monaco, and it's designed for maybe quali, and then and for a lap, and then it falls off really fast. So. Looking right now. We see Paul is here, Mayaki's here. Shay was here earlier, but it looks like she might be sleeping. That's okay. Let her rest and get to sleep. Again, these are the people who are in green. I would be green if I wasn't a mod. We all have stars next to our names. Mine actually is now a new color. I've got the dark purple star this time. So that means I've been with the channel for 4 years as a subscriber of the channel for 4 years now. And that's about when F1 came from our sister channel. We were doing F1 on our sister channel, Data Visualize. And we still do things on Data Visualize, like eclipses, for example. We were doing Data Visualize. But we moved from Data Visualize over to here to Race Statistics about 4 years ago, a little bit, maybe a bit more, about a week or so more. And ultimately, yeah, we've been here 4 years, 144,000 subscribers. We're about 635 away from 145K. So numbers go up. Thank you. We got about 647 of you watching right now on YouTube and a few dozen already on Twitch. Dark says that because I was commenting in chat, it does count. For those who don't know, I am the... Oh, so it does count. All right, so my red flag counter is 2. See if we can get the third out of F3 practice 2. Still Momo over in Twitch chat and Maxi Mizurum 526. I hope I said your name well. Welcome to the channel, both of you. New chatters over in Twitch chat. Again, if you guys want to get my attention, use at Grashariza in both. I mean, this will work with both Twitch and YouTube. That'll get my attention for whatever question you might have. Train Souls, good afternoon to you all. Well, it's still morning for me. It's 10 a.m. in Central Time here. And practice is about to start in 10 seconds. And Oscar is going to be the first one out. So you're seeing the VSC deployed. The race director likes to throw the virtual. He's been doing this. He started really last week, where he throws the virtual safety car flag out effectively. Well, I'm calling it a flag. It's not really a flag, but he does a test of the virtual safety car at the very beginning of each practice session. Something that he does. He was known for from in F3 and F2. Give it a minute or so. It will clear out. It's just a test of the system. Kind of, be honest, it's kind of annoying. Yeah, virtual safety car is already ending already. 51 seconds after being thrown. Kelly's asking who's favorite F1 driver. A lot of them are going to be Max in here, Kaylee. Tell you that. A couple people are going with Oscar. People start going historically with Vettel. And we got cars coming out on track right now. We've got Russell, Oscar, Morello, Colpino, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Behrman, Albon, Sainz, Stroll, Gasly, and Isaac coming out of the pits now. Just of note, Colpino and Oscar were not in FP1. They were out for FP1 rookie training. Can you move the volume of the audio? Way lower than other streams. I will try and pull the mic closer to me. That's one way to handle that situation. Hang on, just can you boost my audio through what we're using? Thank you for that feedback. We can always looking to improve our streams. So the only one left right now who is still in the pits is Max Verstappen. We will see everyone out early on, and we've got a couple people already, about 8 people already, 9 about to go on their first full lap. See if Stroll and Alonso might come back in. Oh, they're going around. They're going around. Okay. So one of the things that we'll most likely might see tomorrow is the Aston Martins typically like to scrub like a hard or a medium or sometimes both for each driver. And they haven't done that yet today. So we might see that tomorrow at beginning of FP3. Chase here. I want to thank the 5 new. Basically, I gave a donation of 5 subscriptions over on Twitch chat in basically it's been to celebrate my 4 years with a subscriber on the channel. We've got a few times already. We've got Albin going to 121.5, Borello did 120.6. He's 1.73 behind. Bella has the fastest first to Russell first sector, Albin fastest third sector so far. Albin top of the board, 121.5. Russell's third, Sainz fourth, Oscar's fifth, Hulkenberg sixth, Colpino seventh, Ocon eighth, and Behrman ninth. Those are the only times on the board. Stroll is going to jump up to seventh. He's 0.544 behind. And we've got Gasly, Alonso, Isaac. The next one's coming across the line. And they're all basically, they were going to be finishing their laps. Gasly comes across the line, goes to 9th. Isaac passes Alonso, goes to 8th. Alonso goes in 13th. Norris goes to the top of the board with a 121.391. Gives Tsunoda, goes to P10. He's 2.2 seconds back. So we've got Isaac, Tsunoda, Colapino, Gasly. They're all two seconds off. Lawson just went to P9 with a 0.8 gap. Clerk 0.6 gap at P8. Ocon to P10, 0.737 gap. Gammy goes to P9. And these are early times. That Antonelli goes to the top of the board, 121.367. And he did that on a hard tire. He did not do that he's not even in the top 3 of any of the sectors when he did that. Max goes better, 121.277. That's 0.09, sorry, 90 thousandths better than Antonelli. Max takes second sector. He's second in sector 3. Guys are saying about cake and ice cream. I will probably be doing a small food shopping. There's a few things I need to pick up. So maybe cake and ice cream later today. It really helps drinking. I do have a Red Bull in the fridge too. It's the sugar-free white peach, aka the Alpine edition, as I refer to it. Russell to the top board, 121.222, and he is 0.055 faster than Max. But that has been Oscar did a 121.212 faster. He's 1/100th faster, so 0.01, 10 thousandths faster than Oscar than Russell. Russell does have the fastest second sector. Oscar's second in that sector. Hamilton goes to the top to P8, fastest first sector. It's about 40 hundredths faster than Bordello in that sector. So Mercedes doing well in this early 10 minutes of the session. Probably may not hold out as the times will improve. That's typically how things have been. Alonso to P2, 121.215. That is 3 thousandths behind Oscar. Fastest second sector, taking it from Russell. In fact, he's 4 thousandths faster than Russell in that second sector. Norris to the top of the board, fastest third sector. It's 121.012, and he is 0.2 exactly on the dot faster than his teammate. Leclerc to P6. He's 3.27 behind. Ocon to 10th, 0.784 behind. Can I break 119 in quali? Possibly. There's a yellow flag. Doesn't resolve back. Yellow flag. Oh, we got someone beached in. Who's beached? I think it's Antonelli. Antonelli's beached in gravel again. This will resolve to a red flag. If he doesn't move any moment, so this will resolve. Yep, it is now a red flag. Red flag counter to 3, everyone. This red flag moment has been brought to you by Kimi Antonelli, who is now beached in gravel. Again. Because he did it last week, too. No, he didn't hit the barrier. Well, if he hit the barrier, I don't know, but he is beached in the gravel. He is out of the car. He's fine. Which I don't think he hit the barrier. I think he just. Let's take a look. Getting a replay of him now. And he's coming to the curve. He loses control of the car. And he goes into. Yeah, he just goes into the gravel. Doesn't look like he hit the barrier. Take a look. Camera. Yeah, no, he just goes in the gravel and gets beached. Yeah, he gets beached. So G's in chat for Harbinger red flags. Definitely we'll see red flags in quality tomorrow. Yeah. Way things are going, we're seeing yeah, that's definitely unfortunate. It's very like we'll see them in pre-practice 3. We'll probably see him in the F2 races and F3 races most likely as well. For those of you who think that it's funny to invoke terrorist names and terrorist organizations in relation to drivers, you're not funny, and it's not. You will be kicked out of chat. You'll be timed out severely, and if not kicked out of chat completely. Using bin, the Arabic bin in people's name when they're not Arabic, to denote something, that's not cool. I'm just going to tell you right now, and we're not going to put up with it. Like, seriously. We have standards here. That violates all of our standards. Like, seriously. There's good people out there, and you're ascribing something to them that should not be. So if you don't like it, tough. We've been doing it for 4 years now 3 years since I've been a mod. Looking right now. Oh, what's the status of Charles? Did they penalize him? No, they didn't. So Charles had to pass someone under red flags. It wasn't his fault, ultimately, and so the stewards chose not to investigate further. Bro, where do I watch the actual race? I mean, right here. You can be right here and watch the follow along with the race. We're very good, and they are going to get the sweepers back out to get the gravel. Yeah, race is on Sunday. You can watch here and follow along with us. Kimi did not crash. He lost control of the car, but he did not hit the wall. So he basically got beached in the sand, but he did not crash. So I want to make sure we got that correct. Yeah, that's the thing about these yellow and red flags. They do spoil good laps that other people are doing. Red flags and crash, perfect combo. I am your Harbinger red flags. We have get back down to a yellow flag right now. That's because they're sweeping the track. They have pretty much got Kimi's car off track. It looks like they're switching the nose cone on one of the McLarens at the moment. That's interesting. Is this some sort of A/B testing that we're doing here? That's interesting. And it's on Lando's car. It's a number 4 car. Kimi should have went to Williams in hindsight. Not very. don't know what you guys yelling about. We are perfectly fine with what we're doing with the timing charts. Everything what we're doing here is within copyright legality and whatnot. Otherwise, our stream would be gone because FOM doesn't go around with copyrights. Bro, where do I see the IRL cars? They're not live for that. I mean, go. We're watch along. So you're supposed to be watching along like with F1 TV. I use F1 TV. I'm in the United States. I could have been using ESPN Plus, but ESPN Plus is basically Sky Sports. Sky Sports in the UK. Your local provider on TV. So you're intended to be watching along with one of the ways that you're supposed to be watching with our stream is with the actual legal broadcast where you're at. And we got 44 minutes left in this session right now, and we're back to green flag. Oscar's the first to go out, and there's a trail. Lawson, Isaac, Borlell, Ocon, Behrman, Hulkenberg, Sainz, Leclerc coming out of the pits already. How for the money purpose? What are you guys talking about? Yeah, forehead. Without not knowing where you actually live, I can't really look up who you should be looking towards in terms of watching the actual video from F1. Can I watch it on YouTube? No, you can't watch it on YouTube. You can again if you are purely online. Most countries have F1 TV available to them. Not all of them, but most do. And I'm not someone who is sponsored by them. I'm just a user, and I enjoy I enjoy the experience I get from F1 TV. It's been the best way to watch F1. Period. I've watched it on ESPN, ESPN Plus. I've done way back before I knew what I was doing. Places I probably shouldn't have been watching it from. So right now we've got Norris top of the board with 121.012. That is his best lap so far. Well, we've got, again, we're still cycling around. We've got incident with Oscar noted, failing to follow race directions. It's either something pit lane related or it's I don't see the last line, but it's likely escape road that he didn't use correctly, or it's a pit lane. He crossed the white line. More likely going to be if it's not investigated, or if it's investigated, I doubt that he will be getting a penalty for it. Michael, hi guys, I'm going to Monza this week. Any tips? I have no clue what to tell you, actually, Micah. I've never been to Italy, so I don't know what Monza is like. Bring cash is probably another. I suspect that they have payment processors now, but I would assume make sure you have cash on hand. We're also noting that Ricardo retired from racing and became Ford Sports Ambassador. Sainz just jumped to P2 on the board, 121.159. He's 147 behind Norris. He splits the two teammates. Clerk now just went to the top of the board on a hard tire. He's 55 thousandths faster than Norris. It was a used hard tire too. No sectors were purple. Max right now is on a lap where he's got the fastest second sector, and he jumps to the top of the board, 247, so a quarter second faster than Clerk. Purple second, and third sector. He does a 26.9, which is about 10th and a half behind Hamilton's fastest first sector. Hamilton did a 26.81 in comparison. Parallel coming back into the pits and into the garage. Yeah, Ricardo's pretty much done being a driver, particularly for F1. Just jumped up. Hamilton just jumped to P4. 121.1. He is a 0.39 behind Max's time, fastest first sector. No, not coming out. Not yet. I mean, it's a matter of time before he comes back out. Again, we're under 40 minutes left to go in this session, so we're already a third through the session already. Again, this is the Race Statistics channel, and this is Grash with you live with coverage of Free Practice 2. We've had one red flag already, and that would be Kimi Antonelli getting beached into the sand. We had a red flag in FP1 and then 3 red flags in FP2 quali. I was giving coverage, so my red flag counter right now is at 3. We can do with a red, white, and blue flag. As long as they're white stars, we're all good. Incident with Barlow. Yellow flag infringement noted. So we'll see. It's noted. We'll see if it's investigated. Can Antonelli rejoin the session? No, he's out for the session. He needed help from the stewards to get the car off the track. Nikki Live, Norris, blah blah. This entire championship. Be more specific, Nikki. What are you talking about? Because if you're talking about the mechanical failure from last week, that's not Norris's fault. I mean, one of the things that they said on F1 TV multiple times this weekend is it basically the last time that Norris had a mechanical failure was like 2 years ago, and I think Oscar's had only like 1 or 2 in his entire career with McLaren. So these failures are rare. What happened to Antonelli? He basically got beached in the gravel. He lost control of the car, spun, and then did a big wide turn in the gravel and got beached. And that brought out the red flag. So that ended up being ends up taking him out of the session. Having said that, he did set a decently good time. Antonelli's right now 9th on the board. He's only 0.6 behind Max's time. I mean, that will tumble as people do faster times, but that's where he stands, having only been a few laps on track. They only did 4 laps total. That will hurt with him in terms of his getting acclimated to the track, since it's his first time in the F1 car here. It's not that he doesn't know the track. I mean, they F3 and F2 do race here as well. And we just had Albon go through the gravel. We'll see if doesn't look like he threw a lot of gravel onto the track, so we're not getting a red flag so far. Clerk goes to P2 120.937 to 0.227 is his behind Max. Oscar did his last lap was a P4. Russell is a P6. Stroll P13 and Gasly P18. Sainz to the top of the board. That's interesting. Sainz to the top of the board with 120.583, 0.127. I'm not surprised by this, actually, because Williams has great straight line speed, and Monza has when you can go that straight line speed here, you're going to have great time. So, and Williams looked good in FP1 as well. Why did Ferrari fire Sainz? Because they hired Hamilton instead. I mean, they hired a 7-time world champion over Carlos Sainz, and you can take that question. Whether is that right, wrong? That's subjective and debatable. Right now, Albon improving on his lap at the moment. He does a 26.9. Albon goes P3. So Albon did a 26.9 in Sector 1, improved in Sector 2, Sector 3. He is 0.334. So he is, third second behind his teammate. Isaac goes P6, 0.446 behind Sainz. He's only about about 210 thousandths approximately behind Max. Looking at what you guys are saying right now. People good for science gets him out of the con outfit and into a forward moving team. I mean, it pulled him out of one of the top 4 teams into one of the mid teams, midfield teams, and I think that's one of the. That is Norris having gone through the gravel. He's slowed down. He's moving, so doesn't look serious. After the session, Bordello will be investigated after the session. So we will technically have decision documents tomorrow for FP3. Do you know that Cars 4 are coming to our TV in 2026? Do you think Papaya guys could be P1, P2 this week? Oh, every weekend they could be P1, P2. I mean, they've been P1, P2 most weekends. I mean, the McLaren has the most dominant car right now. And Lando basically put his back tire into the gravel, which is why there was a smoke of that. But it didn't really get onto the track, and it's not covering the racing line in a significant way, if at all. Probably Ham is going to stay until Behrman is ready for Ferrari. I mean, it's more Behrman is going to be with Haas until Hamilton leaves Ferrari. Why does it feel like McLaren are sandbagging hard? I wouldn't call them sandbagging. They were top, they might be trying some different things in this session. We're not sure exactly what program they're running. And again, that's Norris running wide off the track again. Norris going fastest in Sector 2, not having a great start to the lap. He does 26.7. That's about 0.06, so a little shy than half a tenth off of Sainz's. Norris will go to the top of the board, even though he doesn't have a great first. Sainz right now finishing his lap, still second. So Norris has a 119.878. So we've already broken the 119 someone asked earlier. Sainz has a 120. Hulkenberg is a 120.24. So the gap is 363 to Hulkenberg, 398 for Norris. Sainz has the fastest first sector, Norris fastest second and third. Just looking at what you guys are saying at the moment. Shay, I can't keep drinking Red Bull when Mac Yuki isn't racing for the win. Oh boy. Wild asking, do you think they're stuck at that Audi engine? Not sure what you're asking, Lyle. Oh, I can't hear Crash. Paula, try refreshing the stream. Hulkenberg to P3, Bordello to P5. Hulk does a 121.24, Bordello 484. Behrman does an 804, not P8 now. Alcon P6, 645 in the 120s. These are all under a second. Behrman is 0.9626. Sorry, 9.926. Alcon is 0.776. Bordello is 0.606. And Hulkenberg is a 0.363. So 62 thousandths behind Albon. $35,000 difference between Hulkenberg and Sainz. So I mean, we're talking a third of a tenth here in terms of difference between drivers. Welcome, Luna Echo, to the fans. Welcome to the family. Got the Lol Twitch 2014. Welcome to chat over in Twitch. Again, if you guys have any questions, if you put my name, Grashariza, into at Grashariza, you will get my name highlighted and it'll be easier for you to ask questions. Hamilton P2 with a 120.070. He's 192 behind Norris. Norris right now is the only one in the 119 in terms of lap times. And we're seeing everyone on soft tires at this point. Russell P6, he's 4.3 behind Norris. The three teams right now that have looked the most consistent have been McLaren, Ferrari, and Williams. Manu Packet's asking, Hamilton 5 grid penalty? Yes, he did get that grid penalty from last weekend. And it's an odd scenario how he got that, because he got it, he did it before last weekend's race began during the reconnaissance laps, and it was issued to him after the race was over. So, Crash, can Norris win on Sunday? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We got 26 minutes left to go in this session right now. Been pretty active FP3. What does Forza mean in English? Well, Forza is not an English word. Let's put this in perspective. It's an Italian word. So English has the we are the grand theft of all other languages. If you use a foreign word in English, you can usually get away with it. First of all, please don't swear. And two, we are actually there is a actual session going on right now. We are live with coverage of Free Practice 2. I know you guys are trying to translate Forza. I mean, go, come on, basically means force or strength. But remember, for that you are translating Forza from Italian into English, literally of the word. So, and we can just take Forza and have it mean that because English is the grand theft of all languages, basically at this point. Sonoda just went P6, 120.269. He's ahead of Max by half a second right now. Max right now 0.832 behind. Sonoda 0.8391. So it's about a half second difference between Max and Sonoda at the moment. Norris going slow. Well, he is going slow. He's not on a flying lap right now. Again, basically they've done 26.4 is the fastest in Sector 1. Norris just did 9 seconds slower than that. So he's not on a flying lap right now. So I wouldn't worry. I don't worry too much about movement of the icons on the map. What is Hamilton doing? Hamilton right now is on an out lap. He just exited the pits. So give him some time. If Hamilton takes the pole on his drop, will he be able to make it to the podium? Well, let's see if Hamilton gets the pole first. Let's start with that first. Max just got behind Lewis again. Max right now. Where's Max? Max has just jumped to P4, 120.077. He is 199 behind Norris. He is 7 thousandths behind Hamilton on the board. And he jumps ahead of Sonoda by 0.2, effectively. So Yuki 0.2 behind Max and only under 0.4 behind the leader. That's actually not bad. That's a good place for Yuki to be. Let's see if he can keep this up. Any versus Red Bull car? I did not get a chance to look at the full. There's a video in Discord that I posted. I haven't had a chance to look at it. Oscar to the top of to P3 on the board, 120.059. He's 181 behind his teammate. Norris right now top of the board. Science P2 96,000 behind. Oscar 181. Hamilton 192. Verstappen 199. Again, we've got three drivers not within a tenth, but within 2 hundredths of each other. Albon 0.301, Hulkenberg 363, Sonoda 391, and then Hulkenberg 398. Again, another 4 drivers within a tenth of each other. 2 tenths we go from Oscar down to Russell. So that's P3 through P9. Actually, it's P. Actually, we can go Sainz to Russell within 2 tenths. 3 tenths we can include Sainz. So, what's Lando doing right now? He is in the pits. Looking at what you guys are saying at the moment. Lando is coming out of pits. Leclerc goes to P2 on the board. He's 83 thousandths behind Lando's best time. He does a 119.961. So 3 drivers are in the 119s. That would be Lando, Charles, and Sainz. Isaac just jumped up to 11th. He's only a half second behind, 505 behind Norris. It's not that bad. I mean, it just happens to be P11. Shows you how tight things are. Again, from P1 to P20 is 1.6 seconds. That's crazy. I mean, P1 to P17 is almost 1 second, just over 1 second. Stroll is on the inside. Alonso 40,000 on the outside. Gasly is P18 1.2. Antonelli again out. He does a 1.5, and then Colapino is a 1.7, 1.686 specifically. Again, we've had a red flag this session because Antonelli got beached in the gravel. Yeah, 18 minutes left to go in this session. Again, you're listening to the Race channel, and this is Grash with live coverage of Free Practice 2. They keep hitting the gravel, and I'm wondering if we're going to get another red flag just to clean the track. It's going to take just one of them to hit it really hard. There is a new chatter in Twitch chat. Thank you for joining us. Ferrari race predictions. It's going to depend on how they qualify, really. They could take pole. They could be second. Like right now, Clerk is second on the board. Hamilton is 5th, and they're within 2 tenths of Norris. So I would hold back on race predictions. It's more where could they qualify? And again, Ferrari's looking okay. McLaren's looking okay. Williams has been looking okay in terms of their doing, in terms of in practice so far. Red Bull, not yet in there. Sauber's looking good, relatively good. We've had moments where Mercedes has looked good. We've had moments where the Racing Bulls have looked good. But yeah, no, really, I mean, it's been McLaren, Mercedes, not McLaren. Sorry, McLaren, Ferrari, Williams are the 3 that have looked the strongest in practice so far. Having said that, we will see what will happen tomorrow because Red Bull has a tendency to be okay, but not great on Friday, but significantly better on Saturday. Particularly, Max has been particularly much better on Saturday than Friday. And that's something that is a regular occurrence. We've got about 553 likes so far. If we can get to 400, that helps us with the algorithm over on YouTube. We've got about several dozen of you over in Twitch chat. Thank you. Over 2,000 watching on YouTube right now, and more on Facebook and TikTok as well. Thank you for wherever you may be watching, and those who are watching after the fact on demand. Got 15 minutes to go in the session now, so 3/4 of the way through. Suggestion in chat to replace the lap count with how old the tires. I know that there's a way to. I know there's a way to. There are versions of the chart that do show what tires they've used and how many laps been on those tires. Like tomorrow in qualifying in the race format, we'll have that out in terms of information. We got a mix of drivers in the pits, coming out of the pits, and on track right now. I suspect several of them are going to pit. We're going to get a cycle of people pitting and exiting for this in the next 3-4 minutes. Basically, the cycle into their last programs for the session. Maxiteers are out in force, cheering for Max. That would be Mayaki, Shea, and Paula are our three primary. But there's several more Maxiteers in chat as well. We are very Max happy in YouTube chat. So, what happened to Kimmy's car? Kimmy basically beached it. He lost control and went into the gravel and got beached, and that was the end of the session for him. I know he's been interesting. He started the year strong, but this middle of the year has been a mixed bag for him. Not particularly great. It's not that he's he's making mistakes, but he's so young. He's such a rookie, and he'll probably be making mistakes for the next year or two. To be quite honest. Now, right now, no one on a push lap right now. Several people on out laps. About 4 drivers on out laps. Clark has entered the pits, so has Stroll, Alonso. They should be out in a little bit. Insupportable Max because raw talent, and Oscar because of Australian. I also like his attitude. I support not insupportable. Okay, there you go. So they support Max because of raw talent, and Oscar because of his Australian and his attitude. Yeah, Oscar's become the new Iceman of the grid. He's not completely unemotional, but he is not. It's hard to get underneath his skin. Is it Williams for real? Yeah, this is legit Williams. I mean, this is a track where straight line speed is important, and Williams is great in straight line speed. So you are seeing legit Williams. This is historically a good Williams track. This is Pirelli's 500th Grand Prix that they've supplied tires to. So you'll see there's a couple spots where they're promoting that on track, particularly at the start finish line. Why don't they stay on soft the entire time? Because they're actually looking. They're doing. They need to run on other tires because they want data. And this session is the most representative of quali in the race. So they're not going to run all completely on just soft tires. They're going to test out medium and hards to get data on those tires for degradation and how the tire wear. Did Aston Martin have parts changed recently? They did have upgrades recently. They did have recently. It's just right now they are. I don't think Aston Martin is focusing on straight line speed with their car. So this is not exactly a track where they're going to be great at. More corners favor them. Basically, is the theory. We got 9 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in this session right now. Again, you're listening to Race Statistics, and this is Crash with you live for the last 9 minutes of free practice 2. I mean, Stroll and Lance have been, Alonso and Lance have been in the pits for quite a while, so they could be coming out and could make a charge in these last few minutes. Can you even like describe? Now's a great time to do it. Again, we're waiting. I think Max might have started a new flying lap. We'll take a look. Right now, no one's improving on their times significantly at the moment. We'll see how Max at the end of this sector. 27.5. So he's a second off the fastest time. So that we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I doubt this is a flying lap. Why is Antonelli pits? Antonelli is not in the pits. He stopped on track. His car is being brought back to the pits, but he's basically out of the session after being beached in gravel. I don't get why can't Red Bull have a setup that caters to the second driver? The Pro setup only helps Max, not the second, because that's how they built the car, Harith. That's unfortunately. Antonelli did not crash. He lost control of the car, went into the gravel, but he did not hit any wall. So therefore, it's not a crash. It's just him losing control of the car and being beached. We've got someone in Twitch chat really hating McLaren's. Has accused McLaren of cheating. That is not true. They are not cheating. They have been vetted by the FIA multiple times. And if they were doing something illegal, the FIA would have said so. They have just found the magic. They figured it out how that car needs to be, and that started last year. To be quite honest, we're this year McLaren has been the dominant car, but that dominance started in the middle, in the last third of last year. To be quite honest, McLaren was having a horrible time with their car 2 years ago. So. McLaren has a great overall car. I have to say, as a Ferrari fan, well, that's good to admit that. I fully say that Oscar over Lando. Right now, it is true. It is Oscar over Lando. This season is marked by basically three incidents. One in Australia where Oscar he lost control of the car, had to do a recovery, but managed to get the car back into points. Not great, but he still scored points. 2, the incident between Lando and Oscar where Norris tried to pass and basically hosed himself and basically DNF'd. And then now 3 last week where Lando DNF'd. Those are the 3 key points in the season right now between those 2. Yeah, McLaren's been pushing Lando. He's the first seat, but Oscar's been doing phenomenal the whole seat. Yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. Oscar is leading Lando by, I believe 30. I want to say it's 34 points. And it looks like they've thrown some Floviz paint on one of the McLarens. So Floviz basically they throw this goopy paint on the car, and they send it out, and they see how it streaks and basically streaks on the car, and that's to help to see how the aero flows across the surface of the car. And they basically take pictures of it, and they do processing. There's computer processing behind the scenes that happens based on what they see with the streak, how it streaks. Right now, we got 4 minutes, 15 seconds left to go in the session again. We'll be pretty much done for today after this when this session ends. We will be back tomorrow for FP3 again. Now's a great time to like and subscribe. On YouTube, if you hit the bell, you'll get notifications when we go live. For those of you who are on Twitch, if you follow the channel and you have your notifications set up correctly, you'll get them. You should be able to look at on Facebook. There will be pages for each of the sessions. So just follow. So like them, you'll get notifications from Facebook. And then finally, I don't know how TikTok works with their notifications. So again, TikTok and me is we don't know each other, and it's a complicated type scenario. My apologies to those TikTok users. But we will be back tomorrow with Free Practice 3 and the quality session. Looking right now. Guys thanking me for commentary. Thank you guys for liking the commentary. Comic Class asking, who do you think will win this Sunday's race? I have no clue just yet. I mean, you can't rule out the McLaren being 1-2 again. Clerk is in the mix here. Science is in the mix here. Hamilton is in the mix here. I mean, Max is in the mix here. Albon is at 3/10 off. You know, the state where the Sauber is. I mean, they're only eighth and 12th. I mean, Hulkenberg is 4/10 within 4/10 of Norris. Yeah, I mean, like Russell is only 398. He's under 4/10, but he's P10. So it is a lot of random dice rolls at the moment right now. Where the pecking order stands. No, Patrick Zebra yelling out Verstappen into Twitch chat. Good to see Max here in Twitch chat. You guys are mostly in YouTube chat. We got 1:30 left to go in this session. Again, this is Crash with you on the Race 66 channel. I'll be getting off pretty quickly after this session ends in the next few seconds. I don't see anyone improving in their times right now. Russell started okay, but hasn't improved. Didn't improve in Sector 1. It's not improving in Sector 2. So we're getting data. You know, we've been past few minutes getting tire degradation data. There's a few people in pits. I think the only one who's in pit right now is Hulkenberg, and he's expected to come out any moment now. And is he moving? He may not come out. He did 24 laps right now. The last tire he was on was a hard. Here he comes. Here he comes. So Hulkenberg coming out. He's got out of the pit in the next 25 seconds. There we go. So Hulkenberg is coming out of the pits right now with a few seconds left to spare. Why is he doing this now? So he can be on track, so he can go around and do a practice start at the start finish line at the end of this session. We've come to the end of the session right now, checkered flag. And the first car to take it was Sainz. So Colpiano, Lawson, Oscar, Alonso are going to be the first 5 cars to take that checkered flag. Again, seconds left. Why come out now? He's coming out to be on track so he can do a practice start at the end of the session. That's pretty much it. Why he's coming out. Is there any last questions? What are the S2, S2, S3, Pika S? Those are the subsectors, effectively. So think of that week, from the start finish line to after turn 3, there's a point where the line turns from red to blue. That's where basically sector 1 ends there. Sector 2 starts with the blue line. When we look at those dots underneath the S1 Pika, those are the subsectors. So think of we've taken the sector and split it up into smaller pieces, effectively. And that's to help give us an idea. Hey, they are halfway through that sector. We can see, hey, they've had a good start to the lap, or it's been a bad start to the lap, or they're not improving at all. With its track history, Great Williams, is there potential for a Sainz podium? Oh, absolutely. Sainz was great in FP1. He's again third here in FP2. Again, we're looking at top 7 include it's Norris, Leclerc, Sainz, Oscar, Hamilton, Verstappen, Albon, and then we have Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Russell, Isaac, Borletto in the top 12. That's 6/10 from P1 to P12. Borletto is 0.957. From Norris down to Lawson is 1 second. That's P17. And then the only other drivers outside of that was Gasly, 1.2, Antonelli, 1.4, but he only did 4 laps. That would be much better. And then Colapino is 1.6. So again, we've got a very tight grid right now. And this is why we changed up the formulation on a regular basis. Can Norris qualify on pole tomorrow? Absolutely. McLaren's and if it's not Norris, it could be Oscar on pole. It could be Leclerc on pole tomorrow, or Hamilton on pole tomorrow. Could be Sainz on pole tomorrow. Max could, Norris through Albon is literally 0.3. They legitimately, Albon less so. I mean, Norris through Verstappen is 0.2. Any of those 6 drivers could be on pole tomorrow. So why do we, I'm not going to make predictions because I want to see what happens. That's more interesting. All right, for everyone here at the Race Statistics, again, I just wanted to make sure with the practice starts, nothing happened that was crazy, and it's not gonna, doesn't in this case, not gonna happen. So for everyone here at the Race Statistics, this has been Grash. Have a good day, everyone. We will be back tomorrow for free practice 3, and then later quali, and then on Sunday the race itself. And then after the race on Sunday, if you guys are crazy like me, it's football in America. The NFL starts their season. First game was last night. That's a game that we talked about that game in chat and Discord last night. Anyways, for everyone here, this has been Grash. Take care, everyone. We will see you soon.